I'm sorry, Andrew Weissman, but if I recall correctly, in 2018, you were one of the people who helped write the Mueller report, and you all botched the hell out of that.
And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought we would be here. I thought we were better as a country.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these sites that have been around for creating videos and all that, like text stock videos, they're done.
But that's why Canva was one of the first to get into doing AI.
What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations. 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Please note I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And since 2020, our team has reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And also want to tell you, too, we've done it again this year. So, yes, happy about that. So, as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting on December 21st. 2024. 2025 is just around the corner. And where else would I be on a Saturday than Primetime Saturday with Aisha and LaLa? Looking forward. Actually, this is our last live broadcast of 2024. So over the next 2 Saturdays, we're going to be doing replays, and we've got some change. We're going to talk about a number of changes going to be happening with the show. Good ones, not bad ones. Good ones over the next little bit. But let me bring up the two elves. Elf number 1, elf number 2. Let's bring them up. Wow. Yes. Onesies.
Gotta get on board with the onesies, Dr. Vibe. You got to get on board with it. You'll never go back.
I know. Yeah.
Do they make them like my size?
Yes, they do.
They make them for men.
And yes, they do. They're so comfy.
Yes, they are.
You come with pockets now. It's some pockets.
Yeah. Okay. I have one on. I had the Fenty one on earlier today. I only took it off because I got hot.
I'm not doing Fenty. Thank you very much.
They're the most comfortable ones.
No, I'm not giving Fenty my dollars. Sorry. Are there any black owned onesie makers?
That's Rihanna's brand.
That is Rihanna's brand.
The person who owns Fenty ain't looking like us.
Huh?
Fenty isn't owned by a black person. Fenty, like Rihanna has a brand, but she's just a sub over the top. Lala's pouting the mouth and doing something.
She made $1 billion with that brand. That's why she's not trying to go back to making music. Okay,
all right. Well, notice everyone, we're already gone crazy already. So this is an Ask Aisha and LaLa. You know what? And I got to correct that. I forgot the second law. Ask Aisha and LaLa Anything conversation. We have not had one of these for a long time. So what better time to do it than today, the last broadcast of 2024. So if you are watching live, especially if you're watching live, if you have any questions for us, please ask. Now, we may not answer them, but we probably will.
You can ask. You might not get an answer, but you can ask.
You can ask. You can ask, but you may not receive. Right? The most important thing is that you ask first. So what has this season been like for you already, the holiday season? Like where Aisha and I, it's cold, man. It's cold where we at.
It's not really cold. It can be at night because the ocean air.
Yeah.
Ocean air is a different kind of cold.
We've been getting snow on and off. It snowed like snow swirls yesterday. This morning it snowed. There was a little, dusting. It stuck. It's supposed to start snowing tonight again. It's been cold. Tomorrow's supposed to be what, 17 and 23. So it's been freezing and below the last couple of days. Christmas Day it's supposed to be 50. But it has been cold. Yeah. So yeah, I don't plan on going back out tonight.
Neither no, I went out this morning, did my so just a little bit insight on Dr. Vibe. Usually Saturday mornings between 10:30 and noon. That's when I do my grocery shopping. And I usually don't do anything else for the rest of my Saturday. I, as much as possible, intentionally from about 1 o'clock to 3, I do nothing. I just relax. And that's my blockout time, whether it's watching TV, where it's going for a nap. That's when I do my nothing time. So that's intentional every Saturday, right? So every Saturday we do that thing. So that is, and it was cold. It's cold out right now. It's very cold outside, and
it's windy.
Yeah, when it's cold and windy, that's one thing. When it's cold, windy, and it's snowing, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
whole.
It's about to start. It's cold and windy here. It's about to start snowing.
Oh, thank you for that. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break.
As we enter into the holiday season, I would like to take this time to address something near and dear to my heart. As an international real estate agent since 2006, I've dedicated my career to guiding others through one of most life-significant journeys, homeownership. I've seen firsthand how informed decisions can transform lives, turning dreams into realities. But today, I want to address a deeply personal matter, one that has altered my life and the lives of countless others. Two beautiful souls, my beloved sisters, Azure and Valerie, were taken tragically from us by a drunk driver in January 2023. Their absence is a void that words cannot fill, a reminder of how fleeting and precious life is. Their laughter, their dreams, and their love for life were extinguished in a moment of reckless irresponsibility. I implore you from the depths of my heart, which is still mending, never to get behind the wheel while impaired. Driving under the influence is not just a poor decision, it's a lethal gamble with your life and lives of others. Each time someone chooses to drive drunk, they risk becoming the cause of an irreversible tragedy, much like the ones that took my sisters. In my profession, I emphasize the power of education and informed decisions. The same principles apply here. Understand the risks, recognize the consequences, and know that no destination or convenience is worth the price of a human life. There are always alternatives. Call a taxi, use a rideshare service, or stay where you are. It's a small choice that you can make to save lives, including your own. There are just too many options to make an excuse for drunk driving. Uber, Lyft, cab, friend driving you home. Just put the keys down. It's not worth it. Like buying or selling a home, life's journey is emotional and rewarding, but unlike a property transaction, some choices have no second chances. Please choose life, choose responsibility, and remember that every decision behind the wheel affects not just you, but families, communities, and future generations. With a plea for safety and a heart full of hope, I wish you happy holidays. May your home be filled with joy, love, and peace. I'm Laura Key, the Realty Goddess. Be the light.
Okay, we are back. And LaLa, again, thank you so much for sharing that important message for all of us. It's appreciated, not taken for granted. Really, really appreciate that. Let's do some other things here. Some things. Girlfriends Chat with Aisha LaLa and Jill Jones at Patreon. There's the link. Primetime Saturday store. There's the link. Actually, there's new products, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Get somebody else to do it.
Maybe I'll be able to bring that up in the from the Discord channel. Yes, I shared that with some Black women. They loved it. They thought it was so good. Also, join the Primetime Discord group. There you go. Email me period VIBE at the DR VIBESHOW.com. Also, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Please like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Also, too, if you want to advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms I'm on or any of these ladies are on, if it's for them, touch base with me and I'll give you their contact information. If it's for me, it's right there. Other than that, you're watching Ask Aisha and LaLa Anything. I did correct it. Thank you, LaLa. And we have some comments Regina Ferris is already in the house, and she's already got 4 questions
I
already.
love it.
Ah,
Right.
nice.
Okay. So, first question Miss Ferris has. Have either of you read Lisa Mosconi's book, The Menopause Brain? If so, what was your takeaway?
No, but
Actually,
I've heard of it.
I've actually just ordered it. So I haven't read it yet, but that one, you're not the first person who has mentioned that to me, and I think it's obvious that I need to read it. If more than one person is saying it, so I need that. I think it's great that many people are still are now talking about this, because Aisha have said, and I have said before, that no one told us about this stuff. And it was always a quiet thing. You didn't talk about it in your house. You just heard that your mom was having hot flash. You didn't really know what that meant. But people like Holly Berry are now coming out and speaking out about it. I think we all need to know about what our bodies go through. It's a natural thing. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I did a menopause appointment a few months ago and did the blood work. I have a follow-up on the 7th, and I looked into it, did some research, and on my follow-up I really think I am going to do the HRT. Because
Really?
yeah, I think I am, because enough people have told me that they wish that they have done it. And my best friend is doing it, and she said that she's thankful that she she had a hysterectomy, but she decided to do it, and she medically they decided to do it, and it was a good thing for her, and she hasn't had any issues. But she did have, early on, before she did the HRT, was having the hot flashes and things like that, and she's very thankful that she's not doing that.
Okay, well, thank you, because I didn't know what HRT was, so thanks for the
Mm-hmm.
education.
Hormone replacement therapy. Yeah.
Okay. What is involved in that?
It's just the hormones that you lose when you stop menstruating. So that includes the progesterone, which is it's one of the hormones that men have. But you also lose estrogen. So it's the hormone that balances out everything that you lose when you stop menstruating. So
Okay. Good
one of the
stuff.
concerns back in the day was that HRT therapy was one of those things that was linked to breast cancer.
All right.
But now I think that they have gotten to the point where they don't just give general HRT to just random women. They actually measure your actual hormone, levels, and then they prescribe the level to the woman rather than just giving a generic dose to each woman.
Okay. I forgot to mention something in the front end, but we'll mention a few times throughout the conversation. Program alert. Starting January 11th, 2025, Primetime Saturday with Aisha and LaLa will be live on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So, family, you're getting your fair warning a lot ahead of time. So I'm actually put it in the comment section to show up in most of the comment sections where you're watching this live. So we are number of changes. This is a great change, and a lot of different things you're gonna see coming up in the next few months. So
we're getting old. We need to start earlier so we can.
I'm not even gonna fight that. That's the truth.
But hold on, age ain't nothing but a number.
That's
No,
right.
but when we look, Dr. Vibe, when we started this, I was 43.
Oh, shame.
Now I'm 50.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. How long we been doing this now?
7 years.
OMG. And that relates to one of the questions I may want to put out there if we run out of questions. But well, next question. Regina is owning it. And everyone, if you're watching this live, especially if you have any questions for any of us, now is the time. This is one of those occasions where you can ask us anything. This is going to LaLa. Regina asks, would you ever consider becoming an expat? If so, why?
Yes, because I think most Americans feel like they're stuck, and they're not. I like to consider myself a world citizen. I've always loved to travel. My husband has done cruise ships. Like, he's seen more countries than I have because he used to go out and play the lounge acts. I am open to that. And coming back and forth from Portugal, I just love being able to meet new people. And what's interesting about other countries is they don't have limited brain cells like we do in America. Like, they really don't. They really don't. When someone asks you about yourself, they're genuinely asking you about yourself. Like, the first question is not, "Are you Black?" That is not the question. They want to know your nationality. They want to know where you're from. They want to kind of get an idea of you. Not to say that there isn't racism in the world, because I know Lisbon had an issue a few weeks ago with a racism issue with the police. You're going to find that all across the world. It's just not as prevalent in other countries as it is in America. And I think that the more people open their mind and give that mentality to their children and their families, the better it's going to be for our own country. So I don't have a problem with that. I've got a ton of expat friends now. I mean, and all of their reasonings are the same. They are, listen, we don't want to be stuck in this box. We want to get out, and we see people all across the board, ages. I've seen digital nomads. I've seen people who've retired. It's really a beautiful thing.
Cool. Aisha, so I'm going to come in now. So Aisha, what have you traveled outside of America?
I haven't.
Oh, wow.
No, and part of the reason is one, my fear of flying. That's been my biggest fear. But since up until recently, it was because my daughter, until she was 18, it was getting the passport for her, because I was going to have to get her dad to also do the way passports work with the father of the child. Both parents have to sign off on the passport, and I couldn't get her father to sign off on the passport. So I was not traveling outside the country without my kid. And so that was that. But now that she's grown, one of the things that we put in for was getting passports. So I want to go to Paris. I want to go to Paris.
Okay.
I want to visit LaLa in Portugal one day when she's there visiting. Visit her.
That would be a great group. You and I go over there, and if it'd be really crazy if we could wrangle Jill Jones to come too. Oh my! I don't think Portugal would probably kick us out. LaLa would probably say, "I don't know them. I don't know them."
Let me tell
LaLa's
you,
LaLa's a world traveler. You got to catch her. LaLa's a world traveler. You got to catch her there. Look, one day you go there and she's like, "Nah, I'm in Kentucky."
So
like, okay, you gotta catch her there, or I'm on a cruise ship. Okay, so you're gonna have to catch her in. I want to go to Japan.
I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah,
I've always, and talk about missed opportunities. Many years ago, I have a first cousin. She was the first Jamaican ambassador in Tokyo. She actually helped build the building. Like, she did all the interior planning for the Jamaican consulate in Japan. And I was younger than I said, man, I don't got that kind of money. And I should have asked my dad, said, Dad, can I go? Like, one of my other cousins who was living there, she went, and she was an ambassador for about 6-7 years. And I never went. And it's crazy because one of the destinations I'm hearing a lot of people, especially younger people, going right now is to Japan. My next door neighbors, their younger daughter has been there twice. And she's no more than like 25, 26 years old. Actually, yeah, about 26 years old. And actually her fiance proposed to her while they were in Japan.
Oh.
And there are these islands off of South Africa that I want to go visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Turks and Caicos
is your magic. It is. Your passport is literally your Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Well, it's interesting. it's interesting because I live in Toronto many years ago. Well, I think this organization still exists, called the National Society of Black Engineers, NSBE, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And many years ago, they scheduled their first conference outside of America. It was to be in Toronto. And I had the opportunity to interview all this sort of stuff. And I asked the president at the time, I said, what was the biggest challenge putting on this conference? What do you think she said?
What?
Getting people to travel.
People getting passports.
The passport. She said so many people didn't have passports. It was a challenge. Process to
one of our regular viewers, Michelle Hayward, I believe she's still a part of that organization. She's a Black female engineer.
Yes. And look who's in the house. Good evening, Dr. Tachi. If you want to come on non-camera, certainly we're doing an Ask Aisha and LaLa Anything. Jen Myers is in the house. Hey, Jen Myers, how you doing? Ask Aisha and LaLa Anything. And even you may want to ask me something. Don't know if I'm going to answer, but it's their show. I'm just the fodder. But let me say, okay. And Regina is coming here. So, of course, we talk a lot about, okay, hold on. Oh, wow. Regina is in hard with questions. Okay, let's do some other ones here. She says, which of 47's cabinet picks are the most offensive to you? Oh, good question.
Easy. That's an easy question. That's an easy question.
Go
the
ahead.
First one, him.
Who was the first one?
Him.
Oh, him.
Because every last one after that starts with him.
Oh, LaLa.
I think this it's a farce. This Musk-Vidic thing. It's a joke, and we are already seeing the damages that it's getting ready to cause. Because of Musk, our government will be shut down.
No, they did.
They were able to avert it at the last minute last night.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, they signed something.
I stayed away from the news because I was that angry.
At 11:30. That's the part that is so disgusting. You had two billionaire brats sitting here talking about, oh, well, shut it down. So people who barely make enough money, live paycheck to paycheck, we're going to have to not, at near the first of the month, we're not going to be able to make their rent.
Yeah, but what did they give up in order to do this? Their souls again? What did they give up to get this?
But you know what they ended up cutting was $190 million in pediatric cancer research.
Yes. Yeah, they cut it out. Yep.
But you know what they didn't cut? Defense contracts.
Of course not.
I'm not gonna. That sometimes my mind goes dark, really dark. And the first thing that
your lovely locks.
I'm telling you, one of the things that just came to my mind is God forbid, if any of those people's children get affected.
Oh, yes.
Okay, because you can be real nasty about stuff like that, and karma is a.
But the problem is that they have the money.
They don't necessarily.
That's why they don't care.
People are going to be treating them right, because there are people who are silent, and quiet and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, since we're in the political reign for a few minutes, we will get out of it. Regina comes in serious again for both. Which seniors, or should maybe say senators, should the Dems retire, and which juniors should they be promoted? Oh, I get it. So which seniors should the Dems retire, and which juniors should they be promoted to leadership?
Pelosi, Schumer, Clyburn.
Gotta go.
They gotta go. Crockett.
I like AOC, so a lot of people don't like her, but I like her.
I do too. I think they should promote her. I think they should be promoting Moskowitz. I think I love him. I think I'm sorry, but Richard Blumenthal did a whole a lot for the state of Connecticut, especially with these suits when he did sue pharmaceutical companies behind the opioids. Okay. I think that he did really good. So there are a lot of good people that they really need to be promoting. But I really honestly, I think that Nancy Pelosi should step aside. She did some good things while she was in there, but when she was out of leadership, she was the most backbiting.
And you know,
I'm sorry, but
she
what we're
better
not
not
talking.
pull another Ruth thing, because you
Yeah,
know what? Don't do that. Don't do that to us. She should know that. She needs to go. Listen,
but
lady, you done your time. You did good. Go enjoy your great grandchildren.
and what we're gonna need to do is like, lady, you already are on bed rest with your hip replacement surgery. And
Yeah,
what we do need to talk about is this backbiting stuff that she did in this last campaign, because
yeah.
apparently behind the scenes, she was negotiating stuff that was not helpful to Kamala's campaign because she personally does not like Kamala Harris.
Who the cares? Go lay down, lady. Take a
This is
nap.
why you broke a hip in the first place, because you were needling your way into business that was not yours.
Wow. Okay. We keep on the political journey here. This is a Black woman's, I call it show. I'm tired of the term podcast, but I'll say this is a Black woman's show. 92% of Black female voters supported Harris. However, moving forward, how do the Dems build up allies across constituencies, given the high stakes of losing to MAGA?
Well, I can tell you this
Well,
how
then
they don't. Well, I can tell you how they don't do it. This is how they don't do it. Pivoting to bro culture like they're trying to do.
Exactly. And the news this past week, you know, they were asking the Dems, you know, how are you going to do this? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to work with them, and we're just going to stand up to when he says something we don't like. You know what? You ain't winning, because you don't know anything about us. You didn't listen to us. You just take for granted that you're going to get our votes, and you really should be scared that we are now at the point where we're telling you, and we're meaning it. Get somebody else to do it. Y'all all got to go. So that ties into what you asked us earlier, in the fact that who should we get out and who should we uplift? Until y'all start uplifting these ones that really can make a difference, those old ones got to go.
Mm-hmm.
So they're stuck, because I
Yeah.
don't support them.
Yeah, and you know the other part of it too is that when it comes to expanding the base, you're not. Here's the thing: you're not going to start winning races again by shrinking your electorate.
Nope.
Stop going after mediocre white men,
They
because
don't like
clearly you're not going to get them. They are all in for Republicans. They have told you this since 1964. They have not voted for Democrats.
consistently.
They have not voted for Democrats since then in large numbers. Leave it alone. Go after and shore up the people who have voted for you since 1964 reliably. Make sure they get to the polls. And here's the other thing too. You know what? Stop just talking to the middle class, because poor people and working people feel left out.
Yep.
And you know, and the only people, when you just say middle class, you know what that is code language for, and everybody else hears it. It's code language for white people in the suburbs.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody else hears that who's not white in the suburbs. We know that. We know that's what you mean.
Okay.
Stop it.
Real Django says, whoa, the B word, LOL, I just came in time. And he also says, I voted for Harris. All right. And Dr. says, hey, Dr. Vibe, you asked me to come on? Yes, I did. Are you available? Would love you to come on. So tell me in the comments if you want to come on. So for those just do a recheck here. You're watching Ask LaLa, Aisha and LaLa Anything on Primetime Saturday. Again, this is our last live broadcast for this year, not forever. This year, 2024. And then we are back live on January 11th, 2025 at a new start time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So just to do that alert, let's see if, and Dr. Tati says, okay, send me a link.
Yay!
And Real Django says, exactly, that's right. The lower class matters too. Regina says, I agree with you. I saw a rally in Wisconsin with just AOC and Bernie, and it was brilliant. Not pandering to one group, but 98% of all Americans.
Exactly.
And Real Django says, LaLa and Aisha, hello, hello, hello.
Oh, the other thing too, we're gonna have to stop trusting Bernie.
Oh.
You see how quickly he folded and flipped to the Republicans? What is wrong with him?
I was like, what happened? My Bernie done something wrong. What the hell? What the world is on fire.
Oh, so Bernie's not to be trusted?
No.
Bernie, liking the way Bernie's going right now.
Okay.
What are y'all afraid of? What are they afraid of this man?
Y'all are afraid of an orange man who wears a diaper, and if he got into a street fight, would turn and run away.
Did y'all see his new haircut?
But what about the fist when he got shot?
Oh, whatever.
when who got shot? The man behind him that died?
Yeah, they never honor.
Yeah,
whose wife turned down the president's phone call because she said her husband would roll over in the grave. Yet the man he got shot behind and is supporting didn't even bother to call.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So Regina says yes, Bernie needs to retire too.
Yeah.
Agree says
Because
that's right.
Here's the thing. If Bernie was about all his business, he would be a Democrat and not an independent. And instead of running as a Democrat just because he wants to be president, and then go back to running as an independent when he wants to be a senator. That's a punk move.
I don't like all this. I don't care who it is. I really don't care who it is. I don't like all this flip-flopping. I feel like if you are voted in a certain way, you need to stay that way, or else they need to have a whole nother election.
Exactly. Because he shouldn't be able to run as a Democrat when he wants to run for president, and an independent when he wants to be a senator. Pick a struggle.
Okay. No problem.
How old is he now?
Oh God.
90.
No. You're kidding me.
I don't know how old he is, but he's near dead.
You know what? I'll certainly look up how old Bernie
He was
Sanders.
born in 41.
Oh wow.
He's 83.
He's what?
83.
So Real Django says, yeah, that's right, Regina. She agreeing with Regina saying that Bernie Sanders should call it a day. He goes, yikes, a diaper?
Yeah,
and he goes, though this world is full of punks in politics, Real Django goes.
Told you that's a punk move.
Oh
He's
my
not
gosh.
wrong.
Let's see what else the family is asking. So let's say, okay. So Regina has a question for Dr. Tachi when she comes on. So I did send the link to Dr. Tachi. Hey, Shirley, what is up, Shirley Josma? You see her joining in usually on the morning vibe. Good to have you here. So Shirley, we're doing an Ask Aisha and LaLa Anything. So I know you have questions for these two queens, Black American queens. So please, this is your time. This is your time. All right, another question. Okay. I'm gonna save that one. Dr. Tachi has a question. I'm waiting for her to come on so she can ask us. So, all right. So this was addressed to me, but I'm gonna do it to all three of us. What is your favorite dessert?
Oh, I know mine.
Go for it.
I love sweet potato pie and creme brulee. And if I could have the two together, even better.
Ooh. And actually, I just bought some sweet potatoes when I did my grocery store run today. I bought 3 nice large sweet potatoes. Lala's thinking. I'll jump in. I have a few. Love apple pie.
Mm.
Love carrot cake with cream cheese to icing.
God. Yeah.
Absolutely, like an apple pie. Now, here's a question for those people who like apple pie, whether you're watching live on the replay. Do you like it room temperature, cold, or warm?
I don't like
Apple
apple
pie?
pie.
Yeah.
I can eat it anyway. See, this is why I can't answer this question. Because I am a dessert chick. I love dessert, and I have to be
Me
very,
too.
very careful having that around me.
Yeah, I am too. Like I can, like I it's because it's holiday season. I bought a carrot cake loaf with cream cheese icing, and oh, so
But you know what? I
good.
like the sweet potato pie I'll never have again in life. My grandmother used to make it, and the crust that she used to make, right? The way that she used to make it. And then my aunt, my father's sister, used to make it the same exact way. She passed away in 2021, and nobody makes it the way that the two of them make it. So I'll never have that again in life. But just the memory of it, I can still taste it, and what the crust used to feel like on the tip of your tongue, and when you would cut it with the fork. It's just
Mm,
I miss
mm,
that.
Real Django goes, "Hey, hi Shirley," and he says, "You make the best sweet pie in the world. That sweet potato pie." And he says, "I like whipped cream on anything." I ain't touching that comment. All right, so that is a no. So sweet potato. I haven't had sweet potato pie in so long.
Well, I just had Thanksgiving, so
Make it all the time. I'm ready to get back to holiday baking. Once we get settled somewhere, I'll get back to my kitchen. I have a dream kitchen in my mind, and I can't wait to get back to baking.
Oh, and also too, I'm a sucker for, and I haven't had it for so. I'm a sucker for chocolate, and I
I
haven't.
hate chocolate. I am not a fan of chocolate.
Really?
Wow.
No, I'm. My sister actually asked me for what I wanted for dessert for Christmas, and I said, "Oh, I want sugar cookies, but please do not put the chocolate candy in the middle that you." She's like, "No chocolate." I'm like, "No, just the sugar cookie." She's like, "So you don't want to?" I said, "Oh, I like the sprinkles on it, but no chocolate."
Isn't
Mm-mm.
that something?
No,
I know. I
I like.
like it. That's my problem. That's why I was 285 pounds, and then I have to be very, very careful.
I like chocolate chip cookies, and you know what? I like chocolate chip cookies. They would be even better to me if they didn't have the chocolate chips.
Mm.
But I've never had one without the chocolate chips, but I think they'd be excellent without them.
It's funny. I
Okay.
love it.
Didn't know that.
Mm-mm.
You learn something new every day.
No, every minute. Every
Mm-mm.
minute.
Nope.
Yeah, I haven't had chocolate in so long. Like the last time I had chocolate was earlier this year, and one of my clients, her daughter is a really good baker, and I said, "Make me the most chocolate thing you can." She made me a 7-layer chocolate cake.
Oh, 7 layers. Wow.
Now, the only chocolate thing I had recently that I really liked, my daughter, I went everywhere trying to find this birthday cake for my daughter. It was a chocolate mousse birthday cake. So it had a layer of chocolate cake, this layer of cake that was like a cheesecake, and this fluffy mousse cake with a chocolate ganache over it.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
And that was good because it wasn't too chocolatey. To me, chocolate tastes like dirt.
Okay. So Real Django says the secrets to my pie are: 1, make cookie crust, shortbread;
Mm-hmm.
2, a pinch of Chinese 5-spice powder.
You know, oh auntie used to do that, so you went old school on that.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
Sweet potato pie that is 5-spice powder. What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
my sister makes her sweet potato pie with a graham cracker crust.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know,
So
let me tell you
go
a
ahead.
story. This is funny. My sister came over here Thanksgiving Eve, right? Because we had dinner over here at my mom's house first. And she brought a sweet potato pie. Cool. And then she brought a container with just a quarter of a slice of pie. And I was like, why did you just bring a quarter of a slice of pie? She said, because we ate the pie last night, but we thought we'd just bring a quarter of a slice because it
Oh,
was
that's hilarious.
nice. I mean, she legit did it, but it was the funniest thing. She said, because we intended to bring 2 pies, but we ate the other one.
So Shirley Josma says, I love chocolate cake. And look who's here.
Hey, Dr. Tachi.
The third member of the posse is here. And Regina says, Dr. Tachi, woo, woo.
Oh, I love the Rudolph.
Thank you.
Wait, so we got Santa, Rudolph, and the Grinch.
Oh,
Look at, so how you doing, Dr. Tachi?
I'm good. How is everyone?
We're doing fine. And
Great.
you know, since did I have it here? Introduce yourself, Dr. Tachi, quickly, because people may not know. I don't know why they wouldn't, but may not know who you all about.
Well, if you've never seen me before, my name is Tachi. I am a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, and journalist that is the founder of Indie Soup Media.
And no, you can't just say Indie Soup Media. Little bit more Indie Soup Media, please.
We know you love grand introductions, Doctor. Indie Soup Media is a network, an online network for independent content creators. We have fantabulous independent content. Dr. Vibe is actually one of the creators. You see the replays of this show on the network as well, and he's also a member of the advisory board. So yes, that's
how many months and how many YouTube subscribers, and we'll finish.
Okay, so it's been now going on 8 months as we started on March 25th. So yeah, it will be 8 months on the 25th, on December 25th, on Christmas. And we have 22,700 YouTube subscribers.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now that's a proper introduction. Thank you. And you know I'm always going to make sure you do that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So some things. Oh gosh, so we got some more people. So the real Django says, have I told you, Doctor, that my wife's sister is former New York City Police Commissioner, is the sister of the former New York City Police Commissioner Keishan Sowell. And she's the first Black female police commissioner in NYC.
Oh,
okay.
That's great.
Okay. And then Real Jan goes, Tachi.
Hey.
And he has announce emojis for you. This is great. And a real special person, Nicole Grant, is here. And she is a incredible Black woman that I know. And we are planning to do, there are plans together for us to do some conversations in the new year. So really happy that she's here. So nice. we got some. So Dr. Tachi.
Yes.
You had some questions for us, but there's a question here for you.
Okay.
So Regina asked, Dr. Tachi, if you come on, is it possible to create a Joe Rogan type show that has a Dem populist bent that can outdo his podcast, and how? Or would it be possible and why? So this is about you and your network.
Well, or in general, yes, it's 100% possible to do that. I think that here's the thing with Joe Brogan and his
right
podcast, because if ever there was a podcast bro, it's him. The thing that he speaks the language that the deplorable classes understand. Does that make sense? And I'm not mincing words. I
You never
refuse.
do.
No, because I'm tired of we're always nice, we're always placating, we're
Yes.
always trying to reach across the aisle. But if you reach across the aisle at me, I'm gonna take a bat and hit your hand because you're not trying to do it out of sincerity. So that's the thing. He's speaking the language that they understand. And here's the thing: it may not even be that he 100% believes all of that, but it's a payday for him. But his listeners are too stupid to know that they're being used as pawns in some sick game. So is it possible to do the same type of thing that has that same type of momentum? Yes. And I honestly think that there are a few contenders out there that already do some things. The thing is, though, that the people who listen to a Joe Rogan type podcast have one thing in mind: hate and domination, and feeling that they have something taken away from them. And
Yes.
the moment you speak to that mindset, it doesn't matter. So they are behaving as one mass. I think on the Democratic side, or more liberal side, or let's just say on the side of right, in this case, right? I think that we don't have that one goal. That was part of the problem this time, if you ask me. The one goal should have been preserving the democracy, but it wasn't. All sorts of other things got it. So I hope I'm not being convoluted. I think these things do and can exist, but the reason there was such momentum with podcasts like Joe Rogan's and some of these other ones is because there was one common quote enemy, and everybody united around that. Whereas with the Democrats or people that lean a little more left, it's a little more fractured, if that makes sense.
Well, hate is a good motivator. Hate was the big motivator for all of them, and I think when people can unite around something that they hate, that just seems to unite people more than to unite around something that they love, because there are varying degrees of love, but hate is one emotion that there is no varying degree of hate.
Absolutely. And love actually is something that is anti-bro.
Right.
So to have some sort of love ethic or some sort of ethic where there is compassion doesn't work according to bro code.
Right.
And I think we need to blow that up a little bit more, not to get off on a thing, but we give too many of these people a pass. We need to say bro culture as if it's a shameful word, and keep saying, bro, the way they keep saying,
like they made woke.
The same
like
way
they made woke.
Right. Bro culture. And I'm going to do it every time. Like, oh, okay, bro. I'm going to do it every time, because they need to feel ashamed of the way they behave. And that's part of the reason they're allowed to do these things, speak the way they do, and get the results they do, because we don't call them out on it. We're just, again, too busy trying to reach across the aisle. Okay, reach your decrepit, crooked hand over here. See what happens.
And I think the other thing too is that we have to start in not just not giving them a pass. We have to start observing them in just regular everyday interactions. These people, take them out of the political realm and put them in your everyday situations. These are the misguided in regular life who try to cut you off in traffic, or won't let you in when they clearly see that there's no other direction for you to go, and you have to kind of go here, and they're just like, nope, I'm not letting anybody in. Nope. Or if you're standing in line, they see you have one thing and they have a carriage full of things and can't be kind enough to say, hey, just go ahead, you have this one thing and I've got 2 carriages of things. Or the people who will just take advantage of people who are lower than them. Just the people who in everyday interactions with you are the worst of the worst, who have no kindness, no empathy, but then get mad that the world is the way it is. They're part
Absolutely.
of that problem.
They
They
are.
are the problem. And so you realize that this is bigger than just the politics. This
Mhm.
is how they are. These are the kind of people they are. It's not just the politics. They're just downright dirty, evil people. They're inhumane people. It's the core of their being. It goes deeper than politics. So how can they vote for someone as deplorable and disgusting as someone like Donald Trump? How can they vote for the convicted felon? Because they are horrible people. Period.
Then want to turn around and question you on where your loyalty is. Well, we just have a difference of opinion. Well, no, there's a difference
No.
of opinion, and there's just downright hate.
Again,
These are not the same things. These are not the same things. This is a different level. And if you don't understand that concept, then you seriously you don't even deserve to vote. I'm
again,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
No,
point
no,
to
go
that
ahead.
whole thing of with remember in Jungle Fever, I
Mhm.
don't remember the movie The Jungle Fever. Okay, so the good Reverend Doctor, who was played by Ossie Davis, and his wife
Mhm.
played by Ruby Dee, love them dearly.
Yeah.
And the what's his name played the son. You know who I'm talking
I'll
about.
get it. I'll get it. You know I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, no, not Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson was one of the sons, but the other one that made it, what's his
Oh,
name?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Okay, so they're all the family. For those of you who have never seen Jungle
Yeah.
Fever, and so when he brought Wesley Snipes was being unfaithful and brought an Italian woman home
Yeah.
to meet the parents, and Ossie Davis went into this whole story of I can't remember this story exactly, but at the end of it, he said, "Now, if you excuse me, I do not eat with whoremongers." And he got up and took his plate and went. And the way Ruby Dee said, "But you knew she was coming." So that was hilarious. But the thing is, I have that same feeling when it comes to your point of, oh, difference of opinion. No, I do not eat with whoremongers. I take up my plate and leave, because the thing is, we have been entertaining your rubbish at the dinner table, at the lunch table, in society for too long. So we no longer eat with whoremongers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And here's the thing is that they know this, they know who they are. They know who they voted for. You can't on one hand want to offend people, want to own the libs, and then get mad when the libs walk away.
All right. Let's move on because we got some more stuff here. So Real Django says, hello, Nicole Grant. And Nicole, I'm glad you're in now. She says, those are often narcissistic people.
Yeah.
You ladies would love Nicole. She is, maybe one day I'll see if I can invite her on for a conversation. She's not too much in the politics stuff, but the other stuff, she is in. All right, so let's go to another comment. I'm trying to take something off here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And Regina says, Dr. Muhammad and Ozzy and Ruby's daughter and my school district's office. Oh, was Ozzy and Ruby's daughter and my school district's head of HR. They were also old friends of Pete and Tashi Seeger, whose boat I sailed.
Wow.
One day Ruby came out to sail with us. Oh, man.
Nice.
Wow.
What a story.
That is amazing.
Wow. I love that. I love hearing all these kind of stories. And to the same thing, 6 degrees of separation. So
Yeah.
Ossie Davis was what was his position? He was the head. He had like an emeritus position, like chair emeritus of radio, television, and film when I was at Howard. And so I would, Bill Duke too. And so I would walk down the hall and I would see them and they would like, hello. I would say hello. So, there was really something about going to Howard and walking and seeing people like Al Freeman Jr. and saying hello. they were there. They were part and parcel of the Howard University experience. So to walk
Yes.
down the hall, I'm minding my business and I see Ossie Davis, who's walking to the main office. It's amazing.
When were you at Howard?
I was at Howard from 96 to 2005.
Okay, my sister was there from 94 to 99.
And we had
Okay, so
just
we
left
overcrossed.
before you came in.
Mhm.
There
And
we
then
go.
she went, and then she was back there to get her PhD, and she finished her PhD in 2000,
We got there's so many comments,
2009. Yeah.
so many
Oh,
things in
wow.
common.
Mhm.
So Regina says
So
it was awesome.
yeah, those experiences though you have at HBCUs, because I had an experience where I drove in Dr. Winbush's
Oh,
Mercedes. Dr. Winbush's Mercedes at a conference, at a race relations conference. He couldn't do it, so he had something to take care of. He said, "Hey, I need you to go to the hotel and pick up Dr. Dorothy Height and Dr. John Hope Franklin from the hotel and bring them back to Julie Hall on Fisk's campus."
okay.
And
Okay.
I picked them up,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it was so funny because Dr. Franklin opened the door for Dr. Height, and she was very regal with her hat on in her Sunday best. And she stood there and waited for him to open the door, right? He opened the door, and I heard them talking about one time going to Fisk and talking about this, organizing this march and stuff with Martin Luther King and some of these other people, and just the history that they were talking about in the back of the car.
Crazy.
And I'm driving. This was in the summer of '98, and just listening, and it was just the most amazing thing.
Okay. Good stuff. Let's move on. LaLa, this is for you. And if it may be a little bit sensitive, but Regina says, LaLa, how will you remember your sisters this holiday?
Well, I'm really struggling this year because we are now in year number 2 of where this girl is still spending the holidays with her family. My sisters were very adventurous, and you would just see them go out and do wild things. One of my favorite memories, and I watch this video often, is my sister Valerie coming down on a zip line, screaming. Y'all get ready for language, but this was my sister. She's screaming and filming herself. Woohoo! Woohoo! She's having a ball, and it's because she always wanted to do that, and she had never done it before. So my motto is living like that. And whenever I get afraid to do something new, because I can get in my head really quick, I want things to be perfect. You know, once I get this done, or once I understand this, I'll do this. I am honoring them by no longer thinking it through. Just do it. And I see Val in my head every single day whenever I say, "Oh, I can do that." No, you got to do it now. And so, my motto is now do what you came here for. And you have to tap into that.
Yes.
That is how I honor my sisters, is to do what I came here for. So that's more music, that's more love, that's more being adventurous, and that's more of me not saying no.
Well, I just want to add, LaLa, you know what, to wrap my mind is just continuing to be the light.
Yeah.
Amen.
Just continuing to be the light. So let's move on to another conversation piece. And thank you for answering that. I didn't know if I can understand if you didn't want to, but so Regina's really in. She's go, Aisha, did you ever write any articles about your domestic violence experiences with your ex?
Yeah, I had to. I was well no, it wasn't that I was forced to write about. I was actually forced to write about being sexually assaulted because someone who was the friend of the ex-wife of Prince wanted to expose it. without my permission. So I had already written about it in a book chapter on gifted Black women. So I ended up just writing it for a HuffPost article before they could try and expose stuff. And yeah, because I'm like, you're not owning my story. This is my story. I'm gonna own it.
Okay.
There's something just wrong, period, about anyone feeling like they deserve your story. No one deserves your story unless you're willing to tell it. And to put them in a position where they're not ready to come forward or do what they need to do. Maybe they're not finished healing. Maybe they're still in therapy. Maybe they're still dealing with how this issue is. To put them in that position, to me, is demonic.
Well, it was a sexual assault. And what they didn't know was there were other things that they were doing too, but what they didn't know was that I had been trying not to deal with that part of that because it was triggering memories of being assaulted as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And once they kept taunting me about that part of it, I couldn't stop the memories that I had been able to suppress as a child. And I ended up starting to have seizures. And I have not been able to stop. I have a seizure disorder as a result of a trauma caused by someone else because they did not want me, because of something that they thought I knew about them that I actually did not.
Wow. Okay, well, look, thank you for sharing also, and thanks both you and LaLa, because some sensitive topics, but I appreciate, because I know that the way you think, it's not about you, it's bigger than you. So I know you're doing it to provide advocacy for others. So Nicole says, that's awful. I'm so sorry for your experience. And Regina goes, I asked you because I remember you discussing him one night here on the show. I agree with you, LaLa. You should not be outed. Sorry to hear. Sorry you went through all of that. Aisha.
Well, the reason I don't mind sharing that part of it now is because that not the friend that got out of it, but the same person, people are now speaking about, saying that, oh, it's, things that she went through are so horrible and we should protect young women. But no one thought, they didn't think to protect me. So I have no sympathy.
Okay, got it. Nicole follows up with this. If anyone has a take on the case about Giselle Pellicotte.
What is that?
Giselle Pellicotte, yes. So you heard about this. Remember the woman whose husband drugged her and she was assaulted by like 53 men, including. So I don't remember all the details, whether or not was he accepting money or whatever for that. But yes. So there were 53 men, and so they all the husband, I can't remember, Mr. Pellicotte.
I did hear about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And all of them were convicted.
All of them were convicted. The husband, if I remember correctly, got the maximum of 20 years because they live in France, and the others got between 3 and 5 years. To me, none of that is enough, but that's the French system. So
she's every single day in her mind of this and has to live the rest of her life with this. I mean, and still get therapy. Her children are affected, but still yet, if you ask me, 20 years ain't you need to go down.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, she did not know until he was convicted of or arrested for looking up the skirts of other women. So when the police got to the house and looked at the computer, that's when they saw all of this, the recording of all these attacks. So she didn't even know because she was drugged.
Mm.
And when as far as telling the men who did this to this woman weren't allowed to wear any clothes, any scents. They weren't allowed to bathe in any kind of scented anything because he was afraid she would be triggered by it.
Okay.
Wow.
So Nicole says all but one was convicted. Regina Ferris says we need to talk about misogyny every single day. It's so ingrained across cultures. Shirley says I think her husband is a horrible person. I can't even imagine this. Also, Regina says he is a monster. Nicole says it's so rare to see convictions for sexual assault. So this was a very big case and big justice being served. Giselle was so brave and such an inspiration to go up against all those men alone.
Oh, Regina, your question. She knows. She asked me. She asked for a name.
Yes.
She's right. Yeah, she's right.
Okay. I won't put it up on the screen. We'll just and Nicole says yes. Agree, Regina. Dismantle the patriarchy.
You know, but with that, often, and you guys know, I always say this, that oppressors always have collaborators amongst the oppressed. So system of misogyny exists not just because of the perpetrators of the misogyny, but it's the people who go along with it, the women who go along with it, and use biblical and everything else as an excuse and platform for such misogyny.
Yeah. I just gosh, and the worst part, that was her husband. That was the person that he trusted.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lala, anything you want to add to this commentary?
It's just the fact that there's all these movements that claim that want to protect women, and to me, I don't really see any changes with that. I just hear words. I hear words, but I don't really see actions being put behind that. In fact, with this current movement that's going on, I think we're in more danger than we like to admit. But the outrage is not enough where I feel like it's going to change. I'm not very hopeful in that aspect, and I don't like to feel hopeless, and I don't think that we are. However, I just don't see how we're going to be able to come together quickly in order to combat what is being put upon us. And this oppression is happening faster and faster than we can even organize. So I struggle with that every day. I struggle with that because I don't see this changing with the old-fashioned way of marching and standing together. Petitions don't work, marches don't work, especially now when they're planning on, squashing that too. What do we do? What do we do? I don't have the answer.
Who's we? Because I'm not doing a damn thing.
Right.
So let's just catch up with things that Rhea said. You're watching Ask Aisha and LaLa Anything on Primetime Saturday with Aisha LaLa and Dr. Tachi. She's part of the family. And also, reminder, program alert, starting on January 11th, 2025, Primetime Saturday with Aisha and LaLa will be on live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays, 2 p.m. Pacific. So make sure that's in your bonnet. So got some more comments going on here. Look who's in the house. You mentioned her earlier. Michelle Hayward. What is up, Michelle Hayward? What's going on? And Cinema Canella. Good evening. Love the Santa Hat Lala. Also, let's see. Nicole says, I've recently been watching The Handmaid's Tale, and it's honestly scary how close that series is to our current reality.
Mm-hmm.
Cinema Canella says, Mark sadly don't work anymore. March. Marches
Marches
don't work. Yeah, they don't. You know, unfortunately, in our system, it's this that works.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're
Right.
doing everything they can to make sure you don't have that.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh!
Michelle-
You know what I was hearing today though? They're talking about the thing with the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency again. They are really, really trying to start moving to even paying people salary with it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So the whole thing with
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
with Bitcoin and like cryptocurrency in general. The thing is, when we look at currency and in any type of currency, it exists and has value because we say it does. For most of the world, there's nothing backing it to say, oh, this is valuable, especially like with US currency, where it's not backed by gold anymore. We just have agreed as a society that this has X amount of value and we go with it. When my parents were little, they could buy a bag of peanuts with cowrie shells in Nigeria. And that's because the society had, so it wasn't that long ago. My dad was like, for like 5 cowrie shells, you could buy peanuts. So they had decided as a society, cowrie shells had this value, right? So it's the same thing when we look at cryptocurrencies. Any type of currency exists because the society decides that it has some sort of value. And the thing with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is that it's a decentralized system, which is good in a sense because there's no one center. So it's not like the center of cryptocurrencies. Let's take Bitcoin, align here in the US because it's decentralized, right? Obviously, it's quote riskier and risky in the sense that it's something that we are not used to. But cryptocurrency could have real promise if it's done properly for emerging markets. What they call like developing countries. I don't like that. Emerging markets is better. So it has real implications for that if things are done properly. So,
but I think that's the key word, Dr. Tachi, is if it's done properly. This administration is not going to do it properly.
Which means we can't let Dogecoin become the predominant. You know what I'm saying? It's about controlling the narrative. And part of the problem, especially with brown folk, is we've decided we are afraid of any type of technology, and thus therefore we will not participate in large swaths. And I understand why, because technology in the past has failed us. But that's also why we don't have a seat at the table with these types of things. Because honestly, if brown people, if we were doing things properly, we should have been like, you know what, this is our ticket to do something right. Crypto is it. And there were contingency in Africa, etc., doing that. But on the whole, there are too many of us who still are afraid and still want to do things the old way. So
I'm one of those people. I'm going to be very honest. I'm very one of those who is very, very like this Bitcoin thing. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't embrace this, because for me, actually, I'm always like, ooh, like anything new, I'm ready. But something just didn't sit in my spirit with it.
So go ahead. Sorry, Aisha.
Doge is being run by 2.
Well, there you go.
And right now, the fact that they're trying to really sell this scares me.
Well, it's because, and I understand why. I totally agree. But it's because they're trying to get their hands on it. And when evil tries to get their hands on something inadvertently or advertently, they will change it and usurp and corrupt it. Absolutely. I 100% get that. The thing is, if it's working, and hopefully it's working the way it can work, it's not corruptible by them. Just because, here's the thing, Elon Musk does have some power when it comes to some things, but it's not everything. So I think that could actually be it's not a panacea, but it could be a saving grace in some cases. The fact that you don't, because let's think about it now. We're talking about a decentralized form of currency that is not affected by outages, that is not affected by wars, etc., because it exists somewhere else. Think about your US currency now. If something, recession happens and all of that, it's vulnerable. Any type of hard currency could be vulnerable. So I see where the concerns are, and we have a right to be concerned, but I also see how something that is decentralized could work very well when our current currency is tied to foolishness like it is now.
But what if we created our own Bitcoin?
About him, Trump getting ready to head down to Kentucky to go to Fort Knox for some reason. That should be a very scary thought for y'all right now.
All right, let's continue on. Michelle says, Black people always create new rules to any game, from Uno to spades. We just need a different strategy for this new game. And she also says, in many countries in the world, values the U.S. dollar at a high rate for various reasons, I'm sure. Getting back to, we were talking earlier about domestic violence and women. It's also the male voice that works. Systems don't listen to women. Men created the misogyny, and they have to be the ones to stand against it. Yet they're often real quiet.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, let's see what else. I think we have maybe a few more quick questions. Oh, Shirley says, just wanted to know about the new, I think you mean the Georgia prosecutor. She has been disqualified on 47's case. And Regina says, I think you mean Fannie Willis.
Yeah.
Well, we already said this was going to happen. We already said this was going to happen. This is basically their way of trying to get rid of the case altogether. These were Trump judges in their place. The sad part about this was really the most tight case against him, because it was a state case that he could not get out of. And they just did it to make sure that he could get out of it. So basically, this man is Teflon Don at this point. And I say at this point. The things that are going to crush him and already are bothering him are the fact that people keep calling him the vice president to Elon Musk being the president. That's the first thing. The second thing that's bothering him is Rand Paul suggesting Elon Musk be Speaker of the House. The third thing I think that really like I said, I'm not one to be giving him advice, but he really needs to start guarding his open cups around JD Vance, because arsenic is in his future. Okay, he really needs to be very careful, because he only has had JD Vance around him once, and that was last Saturday at that game. But he also had
remember that he's the VP elect,
right? He also had a acquitted killer around him too. So he needs to be very careful, because
I will stop you. Stop making those warnings.
Yeah, because he might. I mean,
he's beyond this. This is the thing. He wants so much attention. He thinks he's such a big man. He thinks he's untouchable. Why? Because we allowed him to be untouchable. So there is no honor among thieves. I'm not trying to warn him or protect him. I could care less.
Yeah, because guess what? His base, his voters, they're finding out. He's gonna find out too. I watch CSI Miami to fall asleep every night. I know there are ways that people get around things all the time. I also like that show, Accident, Murder, or Suicide.
Wow.
Okay. I'll leave it.
May I really quickly?
Yes, really quickly. Go ahead.
I think we we are witnessing what is going to turn out to be a vigilante state if we're not careful.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's already started, but the not to belabor the point, but United Healthcare and that
Yes.
type of thing. So that was really the start of that. And the fact that
Yes.
people see him as a hero, an anti-hero, whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
that while we understand what the whole thing is, that's a dangerous way of
Yes, it
thinking
is.
because it allows and cosigns on
Mm-hmm.
whenever you have an issue, it is okay to go outside the letter of the
That's
law to
right.
solve it yourself,
That's
Yep.
right.
regardless of what the reason, regardless of the fact that nobody was really sad or what. It sets a dangerous precedent. And so, but this is the precedent that people like Cheeto Satan and them have. You cheat people,
Mm-hmm.
you don't pay people well, you make sure they're oppressed. Eventually, the oppressed rise up. And it's not something that you want, but that's what happens. So, because we're stupid and don't learn from history, like Lala
Mm-hmm.
says, you just have to let them F around and find out on their own.
Yep.
All right. Two last conversation pieces.
And to find out what happened.
Dr. Tachi asked this of us, but I'm also going to ask it of her. She put it up. When you three are not trying to save the world, what are your favorite activities? So I'm going to include you in that, Dr. Tachi. What are your favorite activities when you're not running a network, doing this, doing that? What are your favorite activities?
Did you all answer it already?
No, you
No.
first. You asked it. No, we didn't answer
Yeah,
yet.
that's why, because I wanted to hear what you all had to say.
Oh, okay, all right. Who wants to go first on that one?
Me, sing. I have really been working hard on getting back to my happiness of singing, and I've stepped out there and started doing some things that I've always been nervous to do. I've never been a riffer runner. I could do it, but if you ask me to repeat it, I can't. It falls where it's supposed to fall. But I've been working on being more intentional with that. And so my husband hears me every day. I'm out here working on things and getting out of my head of saying, I can't sing like, and he's like, no, you can't sing like. Why? Because you're not supposed to sound like that person. You sound like you. So mine actually has been completely centered around music and learning guitar.
Oh, wow.
Electric or acoustic?
I have an acoustasonic. It's both.
Ooh, okay.
Mm.
Neil.
Aisha, what are you doing when you're not trying to save the world?
I listen to music and I daydream as I'm listening to music so I can think about different ways to see the world and write about them.
Okay.
So I let my mind go to different places and different thoughts and different ways of thinking about things in between beats and rhymes and words in the music. And I try and put myself and fit my whole body in between the notes and be like, how was that possible? And what do I feel in that space? And what do I see there? And what can I write about this?
Cool.
And I have more unpublished things than I have published things because sometimes I write things just to write them.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear from me, Dr. Tachi, or not?
Yeah.
Okay, me. What do I do? I'm really becoming more intentional to take care of my mental, emotional, and physical health. I'm really into taking care of that. And it seems the more I do these online conversations, the more I want to do them and the more I want to bring more people into that. So there are some people that I put out in the universe that I'd like to start online shows with them. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Taking care of my parents. They are in their 80s. And so one of the nice things on January 8th, I'm taking them to the airport and they're going to Jamaica to the house for 3 months.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Another thing that's I've put out in the universe, and I've said it once in a while intros is, you talk today about the whole domestic violence thing, and there's someone who's really giving me really good education on it, and I don't know where that's going to take me, but I'm already pretty engaged in the men and fathers space, and I think it may be a great opportunity for me to address them about this concern. So I'm putting out in the universe and see where that's going to happen and take me. That's happening, but lots of family, and just one of the things I say is sometimes you got to get smaller to get stronger. So I'm intentionally being smaller with the people that I engage with on a consistent and regular basis. So I'm always working on that, on the relationships, and just trying to help people, myself score goals and get wins. But when I get those wins, it has to be able to help at least one other person.
I love that.
Dr. Tachi, you.
Oh, I like to paint and draw, and
nice.
So I mean, I have a t-shirt line that's a hand painted t-shirt line, but aside from that, doing a t-shirt, I like to, paint. I do with like acrylics on canvas and that type of thing. I've also always been an artist, so I'll draw paper and pencil, like graphite. I like to do that type of thing, and I like to go to Dick Blick, the art store. They have classes there. So you can, and they're usually free, and you just have to buy the art supplies. So you can sign up for all sorts of different art classes, different techniques, and they're taught by people. It's very therapeutic. If you like art, check out if you have a Dick Blick in your city, or it's Blick Arts now. They bought Utrecht, and if you have a Blick in your city, go and take art classes there. Michael's also has the same thing. That's a little more crafting, but I also enjoy crafting as well. So I like doing that. And of course, dance classes. That's my thing. So
speaking about music, it happens periodically. I am back really into listening to soulful house and house music again. Like when I'm doing stuff on the keyboard, I'll put house music in the background, and I am good. Little Louis Vega, Masters at Work, have been keeping me going the last few weeks.
So I should have reminded you. Let me remind everyone that we have a resident house music DJ on Indie Soup Media, DJ McFord. We had a pop-up party on Thursday on his Instagram account. So if you like house music, he's been some really great house music.
Wow.
You know what we did for the holidays? We decided to adopt the agape theme, which, means unselfish, unconditional blessings that you give to other people. So for my family, I decided to make each individual person a playlist. Which is why I haven't been going to bed until like 5 a.m. every night for the last couple of weeks, right? Every morning until like the last couple of weeks, because I have been like crafting playlists for each individual person based on their personality and what I know of them. And so I'm almost done. My nephew and my daughter each has 121 songs on their playlist.
Oh, big playlist.
Yeah, they're big playlists. And so like my nephew, I crafted songs for him that came out the first 5 years before he was born.
Oh, wow.
Right? Specifically. Wow. My youngest sister, I crafted club music and house music that I know she likes as her guilty pleasure, right? I know that she bumps that. My other sister likes people like Chucky Booker from the 90s and things like that.
He also was the musical director for a tour for Janet Jackson.
I know. So I got her music like that. And so yesterday, let me tell you, I did that. I was working on my playlist. I spent all day. I got up at 9 o'clock in the morning. From 9 o'clock in the morning till almost 9 o'clock at night, my mother and I sat and looked at old family pictures.
I love that.
Because I was helping her with her agape, which was to get pictures for everybody that were meaningful and to put together collages.
I love that idea. That's a wonderful
the playlist is someone that is very close to me shared me their playlist of slow jams. Ladies, so good. So good. And then, and actually, and that same person just recently went to the Motown Museum in Detroit.
Wow.
You know who and not to, I know we're going on a tangent, but since we're talking about
It's
music,
Ask Us Anything. It's all right.
yeah, okay. No, but since we're talking
And we
about
got
music,
LaLa here. We got LaLa here.
yes, exactly. Well, then this one might I've forgotten how good Patrice Rushen is.
Oh,
Oh
come
my
on.
God, I love
Yeah.
this wrestling.
A post came up on my Instagram today, and it was like a DJ with all and saying, "What is your favorite Patrice Rushen?" I said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot about all of these." She's just, and I know for several times she was like the musical director for the NAACP Image Awards.
Yes.
So she's got this level of musical knowledge, and she teaches now. So
Yes.
where is it at UCLA? She teaches. I don't remember where she teaches, but she teaches in California. So she's got this level of musical knowledge that makes sense why her music is so good. So I hadn't listened. So I need to make a playlist, a Spotify playlist of Patrice Rushen songs. That
Prince had a crush on Patrice Rushen. He actually wrote "I Feel for You" for her, but she didn't.
Wow.
She didn't want it, so he recorded it, and then Chaka Khan covered it. But yeah, and
Wow.
actually, she programmed his keyboards that he ended up using later on to record 1999. But Rick James stole those keyboards
You sure did.
to
And then
record
gave
street
it back
songs.
after we got finished and said thank you.
To record street songs, but those were the ones that she had programmed.
Okay. We're going to start winding it down. So the final comments. Regina says, JD, quote, Borgia, unquote, Vance. April, hey, April, how you doing? Says ATM machines here in Tampa are set up for Bitcoins.
really
Yes.
In Melbourne too. Melbourne, Florida.
in Melbourne too.
Yeah.
It's all, and Regina says it's also
Wow.
pressed across party lines. Cinema Canela. And sorry if I haven't been saying hi to everyone via chat tonight. I'm just my apologies. I'll do better next time. Cinema Canela says dance, good exercise. Yes. Shirley Josman says wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Nicole goes, I love good music. Music is the music is life, and the gift of music can be therapeutic. And then two last conversations. One, what are you guys baking for the holidays if you bake? Anyone doing any baking over the holidays?
I'm doing our traditional sugar cookies, which is my mom's recipe. So I always do those every year.
Anyone else baking?
No, I'm eating.
Well, I'm crossing my fingers to see if my dad hasn't done it for a long time. He, for many years, used to do a smoked jerk turkey.
Oh,
that must be
definitely
fantastic.
On a smoker, a real traditional smoker. But we'll see what happens. Okay, last conversation piece for all. This is a show hosted, and for the most part, for Black women. What is your message for 2025 for Black women?
We're not saving the world. We're going to take care of our community, but we're not responsible, nor will we be expected to help someone else to continue to push us down. We can do this. We're strong. We know that we're strong. It's time for us to be strong for our communities. But before we can do that, we must take care of ourselves. That's my message.
Who else?
Do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The world expects you to do everything, including save them from themselves. We tried. The large majority of us tried to save you. You didn't want to be saved. I can't want your salvation more than you want it for yourself. Do nothing. Worry about yourself. Worry about you. Even when it comes down to family and kids and stuff, listen, you're no good to anybody else if you are not okay. So they will be all right. Let them fend for themselves for a little while. Let other people help. Do nothing, because I'm not doing thing for anyone.
Yep.
I'm not.
Protect your peace, save your soul, and like Dr. Vibe says, give yourself grace.
Okay. And then one last thing for Aisha and LaLa. What would you like to see for this show in 2025, if anything?
Oh, we are not talking about that Cretan for another 4 years every Saturday. Not doing it. We are going to focus more inward on us as people.
I'm excited about that.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, because there's more news going on in our community than just how he's going to affect it.
Yeah, I'm not letting our world center around that. Let them burn. We've done it before. We've taken care of our own communities before, and we know how to do that. So I refuse to give him any more energy. Things are going to fall the way that they're going to fall for him, and I don't see it looking very nice.
Not our concern.
Nope. Well, what we do need to look more at is globally what's going on with Black people.
Yes.
And I look forward to us covering that more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's going to be good. I'm excited for what you all are going to bring in 2025. It's a new perspective. It's a fresh perspective. And I would say, not just this show, but a lot of shows that deal with melanated issues that deal with melanated people. I'm seeing this as a common thread of we're not talking about this yet for the next 4 years.
Right.
And so when you're not concerned with that distraction, so much more will get done.
Yep.
All right. And Nicole Grant says, amen, ladies.
Yay.
All right. That's a wrap. I think we are done. So, and everyone, are we going to plan to have a good holiday season?
It's already happening.
Ah!
Yes.
Yeah, and mine started by turning off legacy media.
Turn
them off. Like Teddy Pendergrass said, turn them off.
Listen, if something is happening in Miami, if Miami is burning, I don't know because I haven't been paying attention to what's happening. I know just enough for when I need to run, but Aisha, 100% turning off legacy media is so helpful.
Okay, on that note, what we're going to do is sign off with, as always, with the ladies giving their deets. And I've just got to do this first. So first up, our friend who always has a place on the platform here. Where can people find you? There you go.
Right there.
There you go.
Those are the places. IG is a great way to DM me if you have something that you want to ask or whatever. And Indie Soup Media is where you can watch not just my shows, but a whole lot of other creators, including Dr. Vibe and the replay of this show.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sure.
The LaLa.
I got a lot going on, y'all. A lot going on. And I got something new this week, too. But you can find all of my free resources, my contacts, my everything under this one website. You can just go straight down and find me there. It's bit.ly/Laura Key Info. I've also opened a store as well. And I have merchandise that centers around our community. The melanated beautiful faces. So you can go to bit.ly/roots and richness. And there is a new live streaming app that I just joined this week called Favorite. And it is based out of Los Angeles, California. It's like the days of old Periscope. And I plan on doing mostly music and community building things there underneath the name Living the LaLa Life. So if you haven't joined, please make sure you go to my Living the LaLa Life account on Instagram and join.
How did you find out about that app?
I'm in the live streaming world. I can't even remember who told me, but as soon as that came out, people were like, "LaLa," and I was like, I'm on it. I teach you what Dr. Tati, you already own it. I was like, do it. Because I miss live streaming. It's a great way to connect to community.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lala. And then we have Finally. Who sung that song? Finally, it happened to. Who sung that
I did
song?
include that on my sister's list too, on her playlist.
Okay, just give me a second as I got to get there. There we go.
Yep, you can find me on Instagram at AK Staggers. On my Medium, I've got content there that I've been writing. I am on a hiatus until the new year, a writing hiatus, because I'm taking a break. And then you can also find me on Blue Sky, which I am also just posting on social media as I feel like my Blue Sky followers now are up to almost 1,000.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm also not compelled to really post on social media. I don't have that urge after leaving X. I kind of just, I'm chilling, enjoying like the real life.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, ladies. And I'll just bring it to myself now. This is me, and we'll do this. So this is where you can find moi, the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, the drvibeshow.com, Instagram at the drvibeshow. I'm hardly there, X/Twitter at drvibeshow, email address dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And I am also on Blue Sky at drvibe.bsky.social. All right, I think we have done everything we need to today, which is absolutely fantastic. But there are more. I know there were some more comments, and I don't want to forget. Okay, bear with me as I get these comments up. Okay, Nicole goes, yes, Teddy. Nicole loves her music. Yes, Teddy, I know. Regina says, see you next year. All hugs and joy. So again, over the next 2 Saturdays, we'll be playing replays. We won't be live, but we will still be in your screen. Shirley says, happy holidays. Right back to you. Jen says, happy holidays. Shirley says, happy New Year. I also will say happy Kwanzaa for those who celebrate it. And also, I think Hanukkah's, whatever you say, if you celebrate, just take some celebration. And Nicole says, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you all. Many blessings in the new year. All right. And I'm going to do one more last thing. The reason why I asked the ladies about, their message for Black women, I just want to see if I can put it up here, and excuse all the tabs, but in their store, they have new items, and you see the light writing, get somebody else to do it mug. There's a get someone else to do it glass, and then get somebody else to do it t-shirts, and on the back 92%. So they don't say it, they do it. They got it displayed going on out there. So I just wanted to show that to everybody. Ladies, thank you so much for everything. Looking forward to a blessed and highly favored new year. And we got to get away from what happened this year by any means necessary, as us people say. So as always, I'd like to say, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourselves grace. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher and wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember, just don't manage your time, manage your energy. Everyone have a good holiday season. And I challenge this to everybody. Call somebody you've been wanting to call, but you haven't called. And if you even go better, give someone a gift who isn't expecting one for you. God bless. Peace be all. Keep the faith. See you next year.